One of the questions that I get the most, probably over anything ever in business, is how do I become a leader? How can I get my team to see me as a leader instead of as a friend or a colleague? And the very simple answer is there's not more books that you can read. There's no manager style authority that we can give you, right? Like if you were to work a job, it has to be earned. And the only way that you can earn it is by working. So less focus on trying to be a leader and more on leading yourself.
Yeah, that question of how can I be a better leader? I want to be a better leader. What do I need to do to be a better leader? It's there's two sides to it. Number one, it's the most annoying question that I ever get because there's a side of it that's
I don't think it's annoying.
No, dead serious. Watch, listen. Because sometimes it's lazy. Usually the people asking me that, they're not working. And so the focus is on, I want to lead. Here's the reality. What's the goal in business? The goal is to build a huge empire of people that could close absolutely anything and could build monster companies, right? That's ultimately the goal. Leadership is a part of that, right? Success rises and falls on leadership. But when I say sometimes it's an annoying question, I'll tell you why. You have to be what it is that you want. So when I go, I want to be a better leader, or I want someone on my team who does this, and this, you can't get that without being that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So a lot of times it's what magic book can I read or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so let's title this episode "What Builds Leaders the Fastest."
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's talk about what builds leaders the fastest.
Well, why don't we talk about what it's not?
Okay.
What doesn't build what doesn't build leaders fastest?
Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. We'll go one thing at a time. Name me one.
You don't need to do more meetings.
More meetings. More trainings.
More trainings, more meetings. Anything that occupies more time where someone can be doing something versus just listening to you talk.
And here's the reality. Not more meetings. So if we look at the 5 levels of leadership, right, that John Maxwell talks about, or if you want the short book version would be
How Successful People Lead.
How Successful People Lead. The lowest level of leadership is just straight position. I'm your boss, so you have to listen to me. Or I'm your manager, so you have to listen to me. Or I recruited you. I'm your upline, so you have to listen to me. Like, obviously, people don't necessarily have to say that, but that's the lowest level of leadership. It's like, oh, you're there. Okay, cool. So you're automatically in a leadership position, but you're not in any leadership. No one follows you, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that is what? Relationship. I like you. So because I like you, I listen to you, or I look up to you in some capacity. Those two places of leadership are not leadership.
No.
Then we have results. So now I'm looking at you like, all right, this person gets the job done.
They know what they're doing.
I can learn something from them. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's duplication, reproduction of leadership, which is this person's turning other people into freaking legit builders or whatever. They could duplicate the job. And then there's pinnacle, right? Which is the pinnacle level of leadership is who you are, what you stand for, what you represent, what I know about you, and it's all in alignment. So the first place where leadership actually starts is in production and results, not in professional meeting runner.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you said number one is we don't need more
meetings.
You don't build leadership by, like in our schedule, for example, we have 2 meetings a week. Other, brokers, they may run a meeting with their team or whatever.
Right.
But meetings all day, every day, what are we even meeting about?
Just meeting to meet because it feels productive.
Because it feels productive. Now you're getting my point why I said it's an annoying question. So, because it feels productive, right? So we don't need more meetings. What else do we not need?
Um,
More talking. Just more
yes,
talking. Like,
in general.
just blah, 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 blah. Telling people what to do. But oftentimes we're telling people to do things that we don't even do. Things that we're not actually doing. What else do we not need? Do we need more masterminds?
That's what I was going to say. Masterminds is used pretty loosely, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
It's people just use it to, hey, like we're gonna all hang out together and we're in the same business.
If everyone leaves or if people are leaving the mastermind intoxicated, it wasn't a mastermind.
I'm not gonna remember anything that was said.
It was not a mastermind. Just because we go to dinner together doesn't make it a mastermind. Now, I'm not saying masterminds are bad. I believe that there's power in mastermind. In fact, there's leadership principles in masterminding.
And there's nothing wrong with going out to dinner with your team either. That's not what we're saying.
But do more masterminds and more meetings and more talking build better leaders, or does that make you a better leader? No.
No.
I don't believe so. So let me tell you the thing that I've found changes people the fastest. The thing that, because when you're trying to build leadership in your team, what you're trying to do is you're trying to take this dude who's an average, ordinary dude and turn him into a closer and a recruiter and someone who can get the job done and then someone who can teach other people how to do it and build a company. Okay. You want to know when that doesn't get done? That does not get done
In meetings.
in meetings. That gets done only by just doing more work.
The right work.
The work that matters. It's better to what? Do more.
And say less.
Exactly.
Do more, say less. Just in every aspect of life.
Every aspect of life.
Yeah.
Less is more. We've recruited tons of people, you guys. And the thing that I have found that makes people the best is not us running extra trainings on top of the trainings that we already have. It's us going on more appointments. It's us filling the calendar, packing out our schedules, running in 1 week the amount of appointments that we usually do in a month with this one person that you're trying to train, right? This leader who you're trying to build. The whole, how do I be a better leader? I think a lot of times what people are saying is
I think they're trying to say, how can I get my people to do more?
exactly. And the reality is that the only thing that gets your people to do more is to go yourself
And do more.
and do more. That's why I said the question's annoying to me, because it's always asked by someone on an empty calendar. It's not asked by the person who's running 40 appointments a week training their team. They're not like, Coach, how do I be a better leader? It's asked by the dude on an empty schedule.
Yeah. When you're there's something magical about you working and people just seeing your example of what works. You don't have to tell them if they can see that what you're doing is proven to work. Right. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to tell them why it works, the mechanics. Nothing. Because they can see the results tangibly.
Right. Because a leader is leading, right? So if you're a leader, you should be in the front. If you're a leader, you should be number one. If you're a leader, you should be the person who's leading the pack. You can't lead the pack by not doing anything. That's the thing. That's the thing about building people and building leaders, is that what you want is people who work and bust it and they're good at it. So you have to be the one leading that by example. You have to be the one doing it. And so when we were really focused on building in the beginning, we were running 40 to 50 appointments a week. Mm-hmm. And so there was never a question of like, how do I lead more? No, the team saw you doing it, so then they just did what you do. That's how you know if you're a good leader, is if my guys and my gals do what they watch me do, are they going to get results?
And you'll actually feel like a leader naturally without you playing a role or having to say the right things. It'll happen naturally.
Yeah, leadership is not more meetings. The other thing is when we talk, like when we talk to our team, the conversation is more productive and more efficient and more fun and more engaging, and it'll last longer if we're talking about the things we've been doing. Like, hey, this last week, coach, I ran 32 appointments. Dude, I'm freaking tired. I'm beat. When I go to bed at night, like my head hits the pillow and I'm out. Man, well, how's it feel? Oh, dude, it feels freaking great. It's exhausting, but it feels great. We're winning. We're killing it. So-and-so's fired up. So-and-so's fired up. So-and-so just got promoted. So-and-so just got their first check. So-and-so just had the best cash flow month they've ever had in their career. It's better and so much more enjoyable to have conversations about what you're doing, not about what we still need to do.
That's a draining conversation.
Oh my God. I'm like,
those are draining conversations. The things that are on the to-do list that continue to remain on the to-do list.
That's it right there. I'm telling you. Like, I'll say it again. I would rather talk to you about the things you just did the last 10 days. Like the amount of ass that you kicked the last 10 days versus we pick up right where we left off 6 months ago. The last time we masterminded, the last time we grabbed coffee, you weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
And then I left that conversation, and I try to not get leadership fatigue, right? Meaning where I get tired of believing in someone, or I get tired of saying the same thing. So I try to always leave the conversation going, I freaking believe them. This is the time they're going to do it. And then I see you 6 months later, and here we are talking about this. Like if I was to pull the minutes of our last meeting, if it was like an official, business meeting, let's review the minutes from last time. We talked about the same damn thing we're talking about today because you still ain't done nothing. You know what I mean? So it's better. It's so much better if we're talking about building leaders. How do I become a better leader? Leaders execute and implement immediately. I'll give you an example. Today I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, a good friend of ours. And this gentleman, he messaged me out of the blue. And he's just like, hey, bro, how are you? And I said, I'm good. I actually woke up sick today, but besides that, that's irrelevant. Other than that, I'm good. How are you? And he said, oh, I'm sitting here with so-and-so and so-and-so. And I said, oh, I love them. He said, oh, they love you too. And he said, how's your business going? And I said, it's really good. I said, I need to make this move and this move because if I switch these two things, I'll be right where I want to be. But the last 6 months, I spent my time doing a lot of this. And he said, oh. And I said, I remember our conversation on the elite trip in Hawaii where you said this and then you said this. And his exact response was something to the extent of you implement really fast or something like that. And I said, this is the key. I said, I don't believe in wasting your leadership. Meaning that this guy had a conversation with me in passing where he said, remember, some people do this for this reason and some people do this for this reason. Dude, that's all it was. That was the whole conversation. And I said, holy crap. I wrote it in my notes. And as soon as I got back to my room that night, I implemented it. And I've been implementing it since February. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September, almost 8 months. And in doing so, we've added almost $1 million in our business in the last 8 months or so. And our cash flow for our team's gone up $1 million just in the last year. Most of it in the last 8 months. And his response was, holy effing crap, but in different words. He said, you implement so fast. But that's the whole point, is I would rather talk about what I've been doing, not what I still need to do. And so many conversations get stuck on, oh, I know I need to do it. I'm going to start doing it now. I just need to get my head out of my ass. You know what I mean? And there's never any progress.
Yeah, talking about it is a waste of energy, especially when you already know what you need to do. You just have to do it. That's it.
You just have to do it. Now, that's what psychologists get paid so much money for, is to figure out, it's actually to help you figure out why you aren't doing the things that you already know you're supposed to do.
Yeah, to help you answer the questions you already know the answers to.
The answer's already there. So in business, let's go back all the way to the beginning of this conversation. What builds leaders the fastest? So what would you say builds leaders the fastest? Summarize it.
By you leading by example.
Spending less time worrying about other people, even on your team. Where you sit around, you're like, oh my gosh, if I could just get them to work. Oh, if I could just get my team to work. Well, the whole damn time you're the one not working, or you're working just enough. And you're the best one seemingly in your team. You're the best one in your business. You're supposed to be the best one in your company. So your new guy's looking at you struggle, and he's going, all right, if he's doing this, I could probably do half of that. And then you wonder why your team never gets anything done. Nothing builds your people faster than you doing more. We don't even have time to talk. We don't have time to discuss because we're just doing more. Mm-hmm. We're on more appointments than we've ever been. We're sitting with more clients than ever. We're collecting more referrals than ever. We're making more money than ever. That's what builds leaders, not sitting around talking about what we have to do. Because most of those masterminds are people think about it. 99.9% of those masterminds are people discussing things they still need to do.
Yes.
Not things they've been doing. That's coaching calls, one-on-one. When I talk to my coach, boom, 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 boom. When I talk to Mario Bayona, who's the one I was referencing. And then I literally send him a screenshot of my PowerPoint. And I'm like, I just trained on this. Look at my numbers from when you and I had that conversation to today. And he's like, holy shit, bro. I said, I don't believe in wasting your feedback, your input. You took the time to give me something. I'm going to take that something and go do something with it. Or we're not going to revisit 9 months later and you go, hey, man, you forgot what I told you in Hawaii? Like I executed on it immediately. And what it also does, nice. He just turned on my tunes. As you can see what I listen to downstairs now. Because he just put his nose on the HomePod like this. Gonk.
Yes.
Turned on my good old jazz.
It says I fall in love too easily.
Fall in love too easily. That's a whole nother podcast. But that's my point. It's like I'm going to execute. And what it does, listen, what it does is it allows the next time I see him, he's more likely to pour into me again and give me feedback and coaching again because he knows I value it and I apply it. Or he's like, I ain't telling this guy anything else because he applies it too fast. One of the two, right? But anyways, cool stuff. I would challenge you as we end to analyze for yourself. Do you spend more time talking or more time doing?
Mm-hmm. It's a very important question. So hopefully you guys got some value from that. If you did, like, comment, do your thing, and have a good one.
All right, we're out.
Bye.